Coming up on Hold All Tickets, Group 1 racing returns, and Lamby, you've got a controversial take in the yays and nays.
Do I? Yeah, I probably do. I've gone against the grain a little bit, and I've come armed with 10 self-trumpeter votes after a bit of a slow start to the season.
And Pegs, your favourite horse returns on Saturday at Caulfield.
Absolutely. I've got a nice little set that can hopefully break the drought.
And of course, we've had some bigger races coming your way at Randwick. The 2 million Inglis Millennium comes your way, but you're going to have to check out all those tips right now on Hold All Tickets. Hello and welcome to Hold All Tickets. It's Thursday, the 6th of February, and can you believe it? Group 1 racing is already back here in Australia. I'm your host, Alex Donnelly, joined for the first time in a long while, James Lamb, back from leave, but not with the Spanish flu this time.
No, first time back for 2025.
Yeah.
So good to be back. I'm glad we're still going.
Yeah, still going, but of course brought to you by our friends at Boombet. Before we get to them, got to bring in our man over on the far right there, or he's on my far right, he's on your left if you're watching at home. Xavier Pegum, and safe to say, Pegs, we needed Lamby to come back because your tipping recently has not been great.
Yeah, next time you introduce me, please don't go and on our far right. With what's going on in the world at the moment, let's keep the politics at bay. Yes, we need Lamby back. I am so happy he's back. I've been tipping like Lamby the last few weeks. We've had the same amount of winners. Joke there is that he hasn't tipped at all.
It's concerning that we've lined up on the same
best bet
today.
I've had a couple of conversations, unfortunately, with the big boys upstairs, but I'll get to that later.
Yeah, we will. But of course, we are brought to you by Boombet. Of course, great fixed odds, more value, and more boom moments. Sign up today and get in on the boom. Now, as said, we have the Group 1 CF4 stakes at Caulfield this Saturday. Of course, the Inglis Millennium in Sydney, as well as Blue Diamond lead-ups and a couple of Golden Slipper lead-ups as well. Before we get to that, make sure you follow us on YouTube. Give us a like and subscribe. It's just at Punters. Give us a look in there. Of course, Facebook, Instagram, X. And I think we're on TikTok. I don't know if we do anything on there, but if we are, go check it out. But anyway, follow us at Punters. Leave a review across the podcast platforms as well. But Lamby, you are back. Heard that you were on the return and really stepped up their work rate last week.
I think so. I feel like you two have probably slipped a little bit in my absence. I listened a couple of times and you were dishing out a total of 3 and 4 votes for the whole week, which is nonsense, really.
We're just not good at it, mate.
I'm back to steady the self-trumpeting ship, and I've come armed with 10 votes this week. First up, come out firing. So 1 vote, we'll get underway. Brad Waters of RaceNet and Herald Sun. This was overheard in the office yesterday. He was on the phone to a trainer. I believe it was Trent Busserton.
Yeah.
I'm not sure who the horse was, though, but whatever the case, it was a solid trumpet from Brad. Brad said, I got that at $26 and it started odds on. So 1 vote for Bradley.
That's a good one. From
1 vote also for Joel West. Nice collect, solid trumpet. He tweeted last week, finally jagged a nice multi. It was a $50 multi at $25. He had 5 favourites across 4 venues last Saturday and they all won quite well. So he gets 1 vote for that one. Good collect, good trumpet. 1 vote also, Tim Giel. This one was from Facebook. Tim, he shared a memory from 11 years ago. It was a photo of him giving a little flex after running a marathon or completing a triathlon or something of that ilk with the caption, "Are the super fit days." So that's just a stock standard trumpet. Nothing more, nothing less. 1 vote for Tim. 2 votes, Alexander Charles Graham.
It's a great name.
Paul Amy. He's a good journo. Tweets a lot about local sport, the sort of lower rungs. He tweeted, great to catch up with Chris Thoulis. When he's not swinging bats, he's making them, etc., etc., etc. So he had a photo of Chris with all his bats behind him. Alex replied with a nice little trump, a subtle one, but it was definitely there. He tweeted, top bloke CT and seriously good player over a long period. That's not the trumpet. This is the trumpet. Lucky enough to tour Perth in the under-17s for Victoria with him. Great character. So he's just letting us know that he represented Victoria in under-17s cricket. Good little bugle blow there. 2 votes for Alex.
Still wears the tracksuit, mate.
2 votes. Trent Crebin, Racing and Sports. This was an opportunistic trumpet that was brought to my attention last night. I won't say who, but I'll say that there might be a mole in the racing and sports ranks that might have ratted him out here. But Trent posted Xenia by Exceed and Excel out of Geelong,
Yep.
set to debut in the Blue Diamond Prelude, fillies for the McAvoys. Geelong gave me a huge result one day in the Group 2U class, refused to be beaten despite going way too hard in front. Good mare, and Xenia has trialled well. So translation, this horse running on Saturday has trialled okay, but more importantly, I had a massive collect 5 years ago. So Trent gets 2 votes for that, and 3 votes to round us out this week. Mike Inoz.
What? What a name.
Inoz, I think it is. After Yorkshire won at Rosehill at $1.60, Mike tweeted a screenshot of the horse and his bet of $388 with the caption, "Some days you got to say, F it, join the bandwagon. Bang, Yorkshire. Hashtag dinner time and groceries paid for."
Oh,
interesting hashtag. And he went again not long after, $100 bet on Golden Vale at Ascot paying $5 and spits out the dumpling at hashtag dinner time, and it's a bang. Get in there, baby. Green tick incoming with Golden Vale at $5. Booyah, night complete. Hashtag bookie bashing.
stop.
That's that's just a real strong finish to your
He should hold
afternoon
himself
work.
accountable on socials after a lost screenshot and be like, no, hashtag no
Rung.
hashtag no
dinner.
nappies this week.
Oh, no, it's hashtag ramen only.
So that is 3 votes for Mike, 10 votes in total. It's good to be back in the chair.
Yeah, I think we'll start seeing some this week, of course, with Group 1 racing back. Some long-term futures may start playing on as well with, let's see, some horses that are getting ready for the slipper as well. I'm on this at 50s and this and that. So I noticed Jet last week tweeted out he was on something at 30s in the slipper. So I've got that one in the back pocket ready to go.
Did you say who?
What a Godolphin thing.
Yeah.
That's all I know. But anyway, that's the Self-Trumpeters of the week this week. Now, before we get to the review of last week, Thoroughbred Sales is the #1 online horse platform for owners looking to buy a racehorse with over 130 trainers and syndicators to choose from. Horses will also be eligible to run in their new $4 million race series with over 400 races having a bonus. If you have a horse up in Queensland, I believe they are going to match prize money dollar for dollar up in Queensland on eligible races. So go check out Thoroughbred Sales. All right. Let's get into some serious business. It is the review of last week. Pegs, we'll start off with you at Sandown. I'm starting to think you and Sandown aren't good friends on a Saturday because your Wednesday stuff is pretty good.
Look at the sweat on the brow.
Yeah.
It's on the pressure.
Just bleep me, Gerald.
I was about to say
Miraval Road, last night in Devon.
Yeah, just bleeping.
And Nishino Crescent, not great.
Well,
So-
it ran fourth your value bet, which not ideal.
What was the payout for fourth?
Again, nothing.
Yeah, correct. So,
Your next best was Night Endeavour.
yeah,
Not good.
I already said that.
Yeah. And Miraval Rose was poor.
Poor is an understatement.
Yep.
Anyway, I've had a couple of conversations with upstairs, and we'll get into. I'll have to say something after my next set.
I was about to say, you've got to, it is mid-year self-review time here at work as well. So you've really got some hard looks at yourself to do at the moment.
Yeah. Well, I've just taken the mirror down from my bathroom at home,
Nice.
and yeah.
All right, my best bet at Rosehill was Springley, who was just okay. Well backed, not great. Anyway, Yorkshire won. Said when he was even money on Thursday that he would start odds on. He's a nice horse, probably a lightweight Doncaster horse. And Cadetship was well backed, but he was poor, so that really wasn't great. Anyway, let's get ahead to this weekend, of course, brought to you by BoomBet. Great fixed odds, better value. Sign in today and get in on the boom. From Chris at BoomBet, some early action going on at Caulfield. In race number 2, they've seen some large bets around at number 3, Perfect Play, but they expect come Saturday it will drift. Good money for Grand Piero early, who's now into $10 in race 3, but feels slightly under the odds. Touristic has been well backed from $15.20 into $8.30, and they think it's going to shorten up even further. In race number 4, they've taken a really big bet on Aleppo Pine at $2.65. Haven't moved the horse in yet, as they expect a drift closer to jump. In the Group 1 CF4, Mr Brightside looks a fair price to them at about $2.55. They think he may drift, which seems alarming to me. They think another will is well over the odds, should be closer to $3. And Southport Tycoon is the only one outside of Brightside attracting early bets as of Thursday morning, but flat in the market around $14. And of course, they do have a boom odds market up for Mr Brightside, so make sure you get to boombet.com.au. Check out the boom odds offer for Mr Brightside. Of course, terms and conditions apply. Please check out BoomBet today. Lammy, it is the Group 1 CF4. It is the first one of the calendar year. Mr Brightside, what does he do? Goes around Group 1 at 1400. He usually wins them.
He does. It's right in his sweet spot, especially Caulfield 1400, weight for age.
Yeah.
He just loves it. I think he's 5 from 6 at Caulfield from memory. Maybe that's over this distance. Can't remember off the top of my head. But look, he's a class horse in the field. He's carrying the same weight as another Will and Schwartz, who are promising horses, but they're nowhere near his level yet. I think it's just the wide gate that's a little bit of a concern, but I'm trusting Willow to put him in a decent spot. It's not a huge field. I think he should be able to slot in around midfield, hopefully forward of midfield, and I am a little bit surprised that he has drifted so much. I think he went up evens and he's out to 250. So if we're getting close to $3, I think he's an outstanding bet if he keeps drifting like Boom Bet think he will. But I'm happy to just go with the class here, especially under these conditions of the race.
Screenshot worthy Twitter afterwards. Hashtag bang, hashtag this, hashtag
Dinner time, groceries paid for.
You've got him on top 2, Pegs?
Yeah, I got Mr Brightside on top. I definitely think another will run a decent race as well. First up. But in saying that, like Mr Brightside, you look at the class that's in this field, he's just an absolute step above. And like you mentioned, $3, if you're able to get $3, why wouldn't you?
Of course, gamble responsibly as well. But your best bet this weekend, Lamby, and Xavier's as well. So I'll let you both explain at the same time before we get into the rest of Lambie's set. But your best bet comes up in the Rubiton.
Yeah, race 6, number 2, Mahaba. I think $4 looks a very nice price for this classy sprinter. The Beg-Childs combo firing on all cylinders at the moment, apart from maybe Mirabelle Rose last week.
Yeah,
shout out.
And I think this horse is really well placed in a set weights and penalties event after finishing second in the Group 1 Winterbottom last start, and that was pretty unlucky second. Just ended up too far back.
Missed the kick.
Yeah, missed the kick and was strong through the line. Arguably should have beaten Overpass, who is an absolute gun in WA over 1200, as we know. Drawn perfectly and ran a cracker against the tempo when first up here last prep. I think it's a horse that's still on an upward spiral, and $4 seems a very nice price for this horse.
Pegs, anything to add?
Yeah, I don't think we've seen the peak of Mahaba yet. Draws the midfield this Saturday. He's able to kick well out of the gates. He should win. Yep. Hopefully kicks well, slot himself in a handy position going down the straight. Turn of foot will do all the work there. I think, just like we mentioned before, incredibly unlucky in the Group 1 in WA. He gets that kick. Exactly what Lamby mentioned. He's a Group 1 winner.
In the making.
No, but Hattie, he would have been a Group 1 winner. Yeah.
I get that. All right, Lamby, your next best. You're kicking off the day, going strong nice and early.
All the ones. Race 1, number 1, One Long Day. Horse is airborne this preparation, finishing in the top 2 in his last 4 starts. He was just touched off in a BM 84 last start, comes back to a 74 here. And Melody Cunningham could have used a claiming apprentice here, but is obviously happy for the horse to carry 61.5, John Allen in the saddle. I think that's a fair pointer that she's not worried about the weight at all. I think this horse can win again. And again, we're getting a nice price upwards of $4.
And your value goes around in the JRA plate, race number 8.
Yeah, this horse is probably past its peak, I would say, Windstorm. It looked like an incredibly promising galloper early on, but is returning to decent form. I think he's sort of building up towards something. Put the writing on the wall with a terrific 4th last start. Was wide throughout at Sandown, but kept coming. Drawn for a much better run in this from Barrier 3. Should be at his peak 4th up. 2-time winner at Caulfield as well, which obviously helps. So probably over the odds. It's a tricky race. It's sort of a mix of horses that are fit and in form versus group class gallopers resuming. There's a lot of question marks, but I think this horse is well placed to at least run a drum at each way odds.
Okay, Pegs, your next best, of course, we have talked about the best being Mahaba, comes up in race number 7. Ran in the Cox Plate last start.
Yeah, Evaporate, $3.65 in the courtesy of the Boom Bet odds. Last prep went from breaking his maiden to running in a Cox Plate. It's not a
handy prep.
Yeah, it's a handy prep. In saying that, did come last in the Cox Plate.
It probably shouldn't have been in the race.
Yeah, let's avoid the fact that it
there.
Yeah.
Correct. No, I think this horse is an absolute superstar in the making.
Cool. Let's clip that one up, please, Gerald.
No, I think it's an absolute superstar in the making.
Yep.
Had an amazing prep, like I said. Bar a couple of seconds in the Cox Plate last one. I think was
ran 3rd in the Caulfield Guineas.
Won 4 races. Absolute superstar in the making. And I think this race, I'm pretty sure he's able to win or run well. He's going to head over to New Zealand and will race in the Kiwi.
Oh, okay,
I'm pretty sure. So I think I don't think it's not official, but I think he's definitely he's in the futures betting market for the Kiwi.
Yeah.
And I think the Hazers are keen to sort of get him in a slot somewhere. Obviously, it's up to the slot holders, but I think the Evaporate is a big chance of racing in that. So this run on Saturday will probably serve as a nice confidence run into that run come, I think it's March 8th.
That's interesting because that's usually around the time Australian Guineas is on. You think this is a lead up to the Australian Guinea. So I suppose he's gelding. Go chase the coin.
I'll bet you a pint that Angel Capital beats at home on Saturday.
Okay, no dramas.
All right. There we are. We have that.
I mean, I'm having beers with Lamby next week. Either way.
Yeah. All right. Let's get across to. Oh no, you've got your value bet still to come. I've absolutely skipped ahead there. You waffled on a fair bit there, but this one you've already got a
call them glass houses.
You've got a man crush on your value bet in the Blue Diamond Prelude.
Well, second time I've tipped it. I guess you
Two
called
from
them 2 from 2. Yeah. Race 4, number 4, Yamashita's Gold. Don't have to bleep me there, Jared. At $21.50. Obviously comes up against some much better competition this weekend. However, going off his last run, there's a lot of positives to take from that debut run. Just like he showed in his trials, got a nice turn of foot sort of down that straight, and I think it's certainly overs in my opinion.
Yep, I don't mind it. Yeah, the extra 100 metres will suit as well, so I don't mind that at all. All right, let's get across to Royal Randwick for this Saturday. Rails in the true position. We are on a good 4. My best bet comes up in the Eskimo Prince. It is a race 8. I'm with number 2, Gatsby's for J-Mac and Chris Waller. One really well first up last preparation. Everyone was like, oh, this is going to be the Golden Rose horse potentially, but never actually made it to the Golden Rose. But then you have a look through his form. Was good in the Sam Domenico and starting favourite behind Storm Boy. Didn't have the best of luck in the Heritage at Rosehill. Was good in the Roman Consul behind Switzerland, and then was beaten 3.5 by Switzerland in the Coolmore Stud Stakes. 2 wins have come first up, both over 1,100 metres. I know Waller's kicking him off over 1,200 metres here. Lineback is his main danger, but just looking at Linebacker's last trial, I already think he's looking for 1,400 and beyond. He is a very nice horse, and we've tipped Linebacker on this show before, but I think Gatsby's first up, more of the sprinting type, being by Snitzel, is still a colt, so ideally he probably wins this, and he may find his way down to Melbourne for a Newmarket, given that run in the Coolmore Stud Stakes, but I think he can kick off the day for us at Randwick. Next best comes up in race number 9. Down the bottom here, it's a 1,600 metre event, and I'm wary that number 12, Birdman's trialled really well, but I'm with number 14, Headley Grange for Tyler Schiller. 52.5 kilos. He's been in really good form this time in. Had the 3 starts for a second first up to Noble Conqueror, then won at Wyong on Magic Millions Day. So it was a Saturday meeting there, and it was good when beating a Starman at last start. Started short in the market there. From barrier 1, he's just going to sit just behind the speed here. Drops down 6.5 kilos off the last start when Joe Pride has been placing his horses brilliantly through the summer, picking up wins at ease. I think he's a really good bet, but I would be watching the market move for Birdman because he has trialled well and the trial pervs are all over him. Next value comes up in race number 4. It's a 1,600 metre event again. I've absolutely lost my place on the sheet here. Number 15, Cosmic Lad. Another one for Joe Pride, Reece Jones. Only rated a 61, but I like how he's been placed in this race. I thought he was good last start behind Code in Time, finding the line well there. Came into that off a freshen up. You look around his form, he's just been going okay, but I don't mind that he's been placed here with just the 52 kilos. Reece Jones has been riding well, and back up in trip to the mile looks much more suitable from gate 4. Hopefully can set a little bit closer, and he's about $16 at the moment, so I'm happy to have something on him.
Very nice.
Hopefully.
Pride Day. Joe Pride Day.
Yeah. Oh, do like finding Joe Pride. All about it as well. All right, let's get to the yays or nays this week. Lamby, you're back, so we actually have some talking points this week. It's been, let's be honest, a flat few weeks since the Magic Millions.
Okay, we'll rip into it then. If Mr Brightside notches up his 9th Group 1 win on Saturday, he deserves to be referred to as a champion. Yay or nay?
Yay. 9 Group 1 wins already. I think with 8 already, plus an All-Star Mile, which technically doesn't count at the moment, he is a champion.
Yeah,
look at all the races he's run in. He's been beaten a lip by the best horse in the world in a Cox Plate. He's a champion.
Yeah, I don't really care about whether he wins or not on Saturday. He's a champion regardless. Yeah. Like he's already done so much.
Keeps turning up year after year. Like you win back-to-back Doncasters.
Yeah, controversial. I'm going to say nay.
Yeah, he's won 2 Doncasters.
I know. My colleague Jet Hatton won't be happy. I'm pretty sure he sleeps in Mr Brightside's box and brushes his hair at night. But I think he's a brilliant horse, but I also think we use the term champion a bit too loosely these days. I think
Says him calling the Hayes horse a future champion.
Beating 100
just
lengths
showing
in the
some love to my mates at Lindsay Park.
I just think he's a rung or 2 off the absolute champion. I see him as a similar horse to the Mighty Buffering in terms of his standing.
Wow. Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
Probably better than Buffering, but not quite champion level.
Okay. You've got your like absolute elites.
Yep.
Which is like you obviously Winks, Black Caviar, so you think, and he's that one below.
Yes.
Okay.
That is how I.
Where does Via Sistina fit in?
Not a champion yet.
Okay.
No.
Yeah.
need to see
Imagine setting the new record for the Cox Plate, not being champion.
Yeah, but no, I don't mind it because there's a racing and sports Simon Denopoulos. He's like, if you don't hit a rating of 130, you're not a champion.
Okay.
So I don't mind that. Like if you don't hit a time form 130, you're not a champion. So
if you only do it once, does that make you a champion?
I think he calls it elite.
Okay.
Sorry, yeah, elite.
I think I do agree with you in the sense that we are pretty quick to jump the gun sometimes. But
which means I reckon we'll skip to the third one now because we get carried away with hype and expectations of a horse after only one run. Yay or nay?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, and I'd be bloody guilty of it a lot. Like, there's this great horse now with the McAvoys, was with Kieran Maher, pissed in by about like 12 lengths some year at Cranbourne, and I saw it was like half yours.
Yeah.
In the Coleman Canna colours, and I was like, I tipped it at Sandown. I had Sankey. I was like, mate, this thing is gonna be a superstar. Like he just goes off like a frog on a sock down the straight.
Yeah.
Anyway, I came like fifth or something like that. And I was like, oh. So there, prime example.
Yeah, I'm yay for sure, especially with 2-year-olds particularly. I mean, we saw it with Storm Boy last year.
Yeah.
He was the second coming of Jesus, and then he went under in the slipper and the size.
And now he's in Ireland.
Yeah, I mean, Woden might be a star, but I think we need to pump the brakes. $3.50 for the golden slipper. I wouldn't be rushing out.
No,
take that.
Good luck to those that found the 50s after the first trial. So.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just think juvenile form particularly just fluctuates so wildly that I think we just need to steady on.
Like I think the last true champion 2-year-old we had was Piero and Sepoy. They're the last two. Outside of that, people might try and make an argument about a few others, but Sepoy, Diamond Slipper Double, Piero, Triple Crown.
Yep.
Yeah.
No,
pretty eager for the flat season in Ireland to get back going again. So
I can't wait till he wins an 1100 metre handicap at Naas. It's going to be great.
Nice,
whatever.
Naas, far out.
On juveniles, the last one. The Blue Diamond winner goes around at Caulfield on Saturday. Yay or no?
Oh, there's 2 preludes, so you bloody hope so.
I'll say nay. Something from Sydney will turn up and win.
I'm going to say yay in the hope that the Sydney horses don't come down. I think Aleppo Pine will win on Saturday and will be mighty hard to beat in the Blue Diamond. I'm not sold on the fillies just yet.
I was going to say the filly, McArdle's filly. I reckon if the winner's going to be from Saturday's races at Caulfield, I think it's her.
Okay.
Well, yeah, 2, like I said before, 2 preludes. You bloody hope so.
Yeah. The Sydney horses, mate. I'm just waiting to see what the Snowdens turn up with. It's always something that they have that lobs up and gets the job done. But anyway, that is the yays or nays done and dusted this week, which means we are done and dusted this week on Hold All Tickets. Next week, it's the Lightning. It's going to be great. Like, we have a bunch of 3-year-olds turning up. Yes, I get it, Lightning McQueen. Thank you. That's going to be a good time. Of course, thank you to our sponsors at BoomBet. Great fixed odds, better value. Get in today and get in on the boom. Thank you to Lamby. Welcome back, mate.
Good to be back. Thank you.
Pegs, you are on a massive warning this week, I reckon.
Yeah, no, big time.
Yeah.
And for free and confidential support, please
dial the phone number.
Please dial the phone number.
Yeah. Of course, follow us on social media. Get around us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and X. Of course, it's simple. It's just at Punters. Give us a 5-star rating and leave a review on all the podcast platforms, as well as a subscribe button. Hit the notifications bell, so any video that drops from us on YouTube, you get that notification. Like, hey, the boys have dropped something as well. Thank you to Gerald behind the camera, but we'll catch you next week on Hold All Tickets.
What's gambling really costing you? For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.